few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Herbert on first down now. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Hamler. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Herbert off of play action. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And they tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Here's Herbert. This goes to Mack on the check down. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Bobby Brown on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And a catch right side by Evans. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff, Edwards. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Now Herbert, 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And his kick is right there. It's good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off-play action. Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for Buccaneer TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
No problem there on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. And that's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler. To throw is Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's got room. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. Well, Charles, looked like that had to be a mix-up there defensively.
You always question that type of confusion. They actually lost him in the middle of the field, gave him all sorts of room to run, and he took big-time advantage of it. That's an error you just can't make on the defensive side of the ball.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now it's Jackson. This is caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The return man down to a knee. And this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Herbert's throw taken in by Evans here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw again on second down. Herbert. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Pride. And the Ravens are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage. So
now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They go play action now. Jackson. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Tucker now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off with great anticipation. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified. And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bucs on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point safely through. And it's now 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Jackson to throw. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Shaquille Barrett. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the gun, Jackson. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Flushed out right. 1st down and more for Jackson. And finally down at the 32-yard line.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
being chased. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. 30. 10. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You're talking about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Well, Lamar Jackson, I mean, he is just a ticking time bomb when he has got the football in his hands, and he explodes, Charles, for a big one there.
So there was the boom, huh? Because that's exactly what happened, right? And you can be in the right spot against him and not necessarily make the play. His talent is so good, and his ability to shift and move on a dime, oh, he is so impressive. Even when you play it right, he can make you wrong.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Christian McCaffrey as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. Oh, wide open, complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Troy Pride. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Now they're down on the scoreboard, sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room,
Oh, for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Tanner Muse with it. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. They're going for two. They'll kick the point after. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Buying time to his left.
and Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a first down, and he gives himself up there at the end. Well, another fine run right there for Lamar Jackson, and CD, that one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise? Well, Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in a season as the top running backs in the league.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Jackson.
And he's going to drop this down to McCaffrey.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again, and he'll go down at the 28.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Jackson on first down. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson from 17 yards out. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. On 2nd and 9, Herbert. This pass caught by Hamler. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's Herbert. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Every now and then I can speak from experience, because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes, because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that will...
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. K.J. Hamler. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Point after, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
40 yards on the ground for him so far.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And the Ravens are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Herbert. And he's got it. Touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. The extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They go play action with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about... And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack.
Herbert, he'll get that complete to Albert O.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
2nd and 10. Here's Herbert once more. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Flushed out right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Jackson eluding the pressure right.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season.
And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are right back in this football game. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play. And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Jackson to throw. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 50 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They run with McCaffrey off the option. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And that will make this a 4-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time, gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Herbert.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they drop their 11th game now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals.